Well, thank you all so much for coming. We're going to start this evening off with Nicole Child singing the national anthem. Thank you so much, Nicole. It was absolutely beautiful. If you could all have a seat, it would be great. Good evening and welcome families, friends, colleagues, community members, industry leaders. Kara Galvin from the Workforce Investment Board, who is sponsoring this evening tonight. School committee members, Superintendent DeBoer, Principal Balistracci, and most importantly, our 20 inductees who will head the inaugural class entering the Mashpee High School chapter of the National Technical Honor Society. The goal of the society is to see that deserving technical students be recognized and that the people in the community become aware of the talents and abilities of the young people who choose technical education pathways to a successful future. Today, we recognize students who not only their academic and technical achievements, but for their commitment to obtaining an industry certification in their field of study. This year alone, we had over 115 students obtain industry certification after completing a 10-hour ocean training course where they were trained in the workplace readiness and safety. In addition, many students were certified in first aid and CPR, and students in the culinary program are being certified in food handling through ServSafe certification. Mashpee Middle High School currently offers students over 25 career and technical education courses in art communications, business services, early childhood education, hospitality services, and STEM and manufacturing. This past year, the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education recognized Mashpee's commitment to offering quality career and technical education programs by allocating over $17,000 in federal Perkins funds to support our efforts. Mashpee Middle High School's CTE programs have proven to be a model for comprehensive schools throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Our drafting program is not only recognized by industry as a PTC Academy champion, it is articulated with Cape Cod Community College. Students completing the drafting course with an 80 or better receive college credit at the community college, as do the students in the Pro Start program. Our technology center is often referred to as a center of excellence. in large part due to the efforts of our staff, including Sal Michella, Kevin Blue, and Amanda Howard, who bring cutting-edge technology and course offerings to Mashpee. Students are creating virtual worlds, building products for the Mashpee community, and changing the culture of our school, and most importantly, developing innovative workplace readiness skills, which will serve them well in any endeavor they choose to pursue after graduation. Over the past 3 years, Mashpee Middle High School has developed its own makerspace and technology center for students to have some independence for innovation in making and solving real-world problems. We have renovated the space and developed the Falcon Cafe for students in the culinary program to develop workplace readiness skills in the hospitality industry. Finally, we developed a Mac Lab for students in the art communications to use computer programs in graphic design, fashion, video production, and audio engineering. Students in the art communications pathway continue to showcase their talent, showcase their artwork and musical talents at various Cape-wide venues and statewide competitions. Our partnership with Kara Galvin and the Workforce Investment Board continues to provide opportunities for our students to build confidence and skills while partnering with mentors throughout the Artworks program and placing students in internships with local employers through our School to Careers program. Chef Holmes and the students in our Pro Start program competed in their first statewide culinary competition and won. They will be traveling to South Carolina later this month to represent Massachusetts in the National Pro Start competition. Amanda Howe is engaging students in computer programming through the use of robotics in several platforms. Students in her program qualified and competed in their very first Southern New England Championship. Last but certainly not least, the students in Sal Michella's 3D animation, computer game design, and drafting courses continue to draw large crowds for the 4th consecutive year at the statewide MassQ conference at Gillette Stadium and the STEM Summit at the DCU Center in Worcester. I hope you are aware of the amazing work that these students are doing each and every day in our schools and throughout the community. You should be extremely proud as parents, industry professionals, and members of the Mashpee community. At this time, I would like to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Mrs. Patricia DeBoer, to provide some remarks. I would like to publicly recognize Superintendent DeBoer for her continued and unwavering support of our career and technical education programming at MMHS. Her leadership and support is greatly appreciated. Mrs. DeBoer.
Thank you. It's very exciting to be here at this inaugural induction for these students in this program. So success favors the prepared mind, and I know that all of the minds of these students up on the stage are very well prepared. This is an opportunity that we have, we're excited about, to honor student achievement in leadership and career technical education. So we're very proud that at Mashpee High School we are able to provide career and technical education courses. These courses and the pathways are not about preparing students for what is, but rather about preparing the next generation of leaders, innovators, and inventors for what will be. Career and technical education is about developing programs that open new doors and introduce trajectories to students within a rigorous environment that ensures that no door is closed to a student as he or she moves towards commencement. We must prepare students to evolve with, and at times lead or be the architects of the evolution of our changing world. So to each of these inductees, I thank you for embracing exploration and learning through our career and technical education offerings. You have all excelled and should be very proud of yourselves. Yes. Thank you also to the outstanding career and technical education teachers that we have, Mr. Looney in particular, but also Mr. Michella, Mr. Blue, Ms. Howe, and there are many others that are not with us tonight. And also thank you to Principal Balistracci for his leadership. So our career and technical education programs and each of these inductees, these fabulous students, are for me another example of why it's great to be in Mashpee. So thank you very much.
Deputy Superintendent DeBoer. At this time, I'd like to welcome Mrs. Amanda Howe and Mr. Kevin Blute to the podium to go over the colors, emblem, and shield and slogan of the organization.
The colors of the National Technical Honor Society are silver, white, and purple. Silver represents value, reward, worth, white represents truth, honesty, and purple represents achievement and honor.
The official emblem of the organization is made up of a shield crossed by a scroll bearing the letters NTHS. Above the shield is the head of an American bald eagle with a wreath of 7 stars circling the eagle's head.
The shield represents the individual member. The line running through the shield represents a straight plumb line, fundamental to building a life and career upon a good foundation.
The bald eagle's head represents the United States of America and the individual's freedom of career choice.
The wreath of 7 stars represents the 7 attributes of the National Technical Honor Society member: skill, scholarship, honesty, responsibility, service, leadership, and citizenship, and the individual National Technical Honor Society chapters throughout the United States.
The official NTHS slogan is Excellent in America's Workforce. It begins with excellent in workforce education.
At this time, the National Technical Honor Society inductees will present the light of knowledge and the 7 attributes of membership.
In the center of the table is a lighted candle representing knowledge. Knowledge is familiarity, awareness, or understanding gained through experience or study.
This candle represents the knowledge you've gained through experience and study in your technical program.
The first member attribute is skill.
Skill is the use of knowledge to develop a great ability and expertness necessary to make a positive difference in a particular occupational field. I light this candle to represent skill.
The second member attribute is honesty. Honesty is the quality of being truthful, trustworthy, and fair with everybody while at work or play. Light this candle to represent honesty.
The third member attribute is service. Service is giving assistance and being ready and able to provide a helpful and useful act.
Light this candle to represent service.
The fourth member attribute is responsibility.
Responsibility involves the ability to act without guidance or superior authority and being answerable for your actions. Light this candle to represent responsibility.
fifth member attribute is scholarship.
Scholarship is the distinctive mark of one who has mastered an area of learning as reflected in the quality of his or her work, especially with respect to scope, thoroughness, and care.
Light this candle to represent scholarship.
The sixth member attribute is citizenship.
Citizenship is being entitled with full civil rights and exercising the duties, rights, and privileges of this status. Light this candle to represent citizenship.
The seventh member attribute is leadership.
Leadership is the responsibility of serving as a guiding force and directing the way by going first with courage and confidence. Light this candle to represent leadership.
Students, we hope you recognize these 7 attributes in yourself and value these qualities which make you eligible for membership in the National Technical Honor Society.
We would now like to introduce the students who have been elected to membership into the organization.
First up is Benjamin Bonenberger. Max Burke. Torrin Burton. James Cohen. Camden Frazier. Teo Giasato. Jacob Johnston. Shane LaCroix. Zachary Landry. And last of our juniors, Robin Nasuti. Now for the senior class, we have 10 seniors, and we have 10 seniors and 10 juniors. We're going to get started off with Matthew Barron. Carpenter. Julia Ferreira. Chris Perone. Cecilia Pignate Ozak. Jordan Pinhack. Sydney Pincinot. Jessica Smeltzer. Jordan Smeltzer. Destiny Yazzie Lambert. At this time, I'm going to ask all the new inductees of the National Technical Honor Society to stand. Please stand after me. As a member of the National Technical Honor Society, I pledge to maintain the highest standard of personal conduct. I will apply myself to continue a record of scholastic achievement. And I will strive for excellence in all aspects of my education. I will invest my talents, my skills, and my knowledge in a career of my own choosing, and shall always endeavor to uphold my obligations as a citizen of my community and my country. Let's give them a round of applause. At this time, I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Jim Towie. With a strong background, he's the president of Onset Computers. With a strong background in product development, engineering, R&D, design, manufacturing, and support, Jim Towie came to Onset Computers in 2013 as the Director of Engineering, was later promoted to Vice President of Engineering, and assumed additional business responsibilities in the core markets. He now brings more than 29 years of extensive technology and business leadership experience to the role of president. He previously held significant leadership positions at United Technologies, Excel Switching, which was acquired by Lucid Technologies, Cetacine Networks, Star Networks, acquired by Cisco, and Emperix Network Monitoring. He holds a Master of Business Administration from the University of Connecticut, a Master of Science in Electrical Engineering from Rensselaer Polytechnical Institute, and a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering from the University of Connecticut. Mr. Towie.
Thanks. So what that introduction means that I've been working longer than you guys have been alive.
thank you for having me here. And first off, and most importantly, awesome step in the beginnings of your guys' careers. So again, congratulations. Let's give them all a round of applause. So as you've heard from my background, and you know, part of this is going to be directed to parents and guardians, and then part of this is being directed to you guys. But what Onset Computer does, it's been on the Cape for 35 years, and we do data loggers. So we develop electronics and software and devices. We actually manufacture devices that are used in monitoring environmental conditions like temperature, relative humidity. And they're used by everybody from water research to environmental studies to being actually used up on the space station. So wide variety of product. But most interestingly is this company is here on the Cape. And it's been here on the Cape for 35 years. And we have everything from folks doing mechanical design, a lot of those CAD 3D models, we do that every day. But we also manufacture this product on the Cape. And we have about, I don't know, there's 140 people that are working there. And we are always struggling to find people with talent, with a background, a technical background to come and help us. So, you know, I applaud you in your first step. Michael had asked me, you know, give a little bit about Onset and then perhaps motivate you. But, you know, the reality is you guys are already self-motivated, as evidenced by taking the steps you did. So parents, great foundation for getting these guys to this point. But the rest is on you guys. Moving forward, having a technical background is going to be critical to everything you do and all your successes. You know, I've been doing this for a very long time, and the bottom line is get a good foundation, which is what you guys are getting here. Stay curious and stay interested, because the most important thing you'll find is work's always going to be work, but if you have to like it and you kind of find interest in what you're doing, you know, work becomes a little bit easier, and you actually become more and more successful the more you apply yourself. So I encourage you to keep staying curious, and most importantly, keep learning. It's just the beginning. Unfortunately, you always learn. You know, when I started, there were no such things as cell phones. In fact, when I started, there was no such things as desktop computers, if you can believe that. It's crazy. You know? And today, I've done everything from design chips that go into jet engines, design mobile applications for dating services in China. So, very wide variety of things. I'm no different. In fact, my high school was half of what you guys are getting here. Bottom line is get the foundation, keep learning, and staying curious. So with that, I congratulate every one of you, and I wish you much success in your future. Come see me in a few years. Thank you.
So for a few closing remarks, I'd like to invite up Principal Bellistracci to close out the ceremony before we go out and have a reception outside. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Looney. It's always fun to follow up a speaker and keep you guys from getting cake and ice cream outside, so I'll be fairly brief. My remarks tonight are really two-pronged. One, I have a tremendous sense of gratitude. Gratitude to Mr. Looney and the tremendous career and technical education department that he provides and leads in our building. Mr. Marcello, Mr. Blue, Ms. Howe, tremendous leaders in our school, tremendous educators for our children. I'd also like to express my gratitude to Superintendent DeBoer. Under her leadership, career and technical education has not only flourished, but continued to grow, and we've become better and better each and every day because of her leadership, so I thank you for that. Parents, thank you for instilling the thought of curiosity, the ability to look at things and problem solve, to look at things and invent. These are qualities that we don't often see in our workforce anymore, and these are qualities that all of our inductees here this evening have in them. Lastly, and most importantly, my gratitude is to our students. You have changed the face of this school. You have changed how we operate. You have changed how we approach education. You have done that as students. And oftentimes, we lead as individuals, as educators, but we don't often look to our kids, to our students, for their leadership. And you guys have done just that. To be part of the inaugural class of the National Technical Honor Society is something you won't forget and something that you will leave on this school. Seniors, as you graduate, you will leave an indelible mark, creating an organization for those that will follow you to aspire to. Not only have you worked so hard in the classroom and demonstrated tremendous scholarship in your grades academically, in your core areas, you've also gone above and beyond that. The products that come out of Mr. Bluth's woodshop, the 3D models that come out of Mr. Natello's classroom, the robotics competition where we placed and represented our town in school at the state level, our ProStar program, which will be competing nationally just 1 year into competition. These are things to be extremely proud of, and they're because of you guys. So I want to thank you as students for all that you've done for our school. In closing, I wish you the very best of luck, and I really hope that as you move forward, juniors rising up to senior year to become leaders in this building, seniors as you graduate here in just a month and a half or so and go on off to college or into the workforce, never stop being curious. Never stop being curious. The changes in this country that we need to see are going to come from you. And I'm quite confident looking at these 20 individuals that we're in tremendous hands moving forward. So congratulations. All right, thank you all for coming this evening. And again, congratulations to all our students. Thank you.
Thank you all again, and that closes our ceremony. So if you'd like to join us out for a little cake and cookies and a drink outside, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.